The next concert with the Nashville Symphony will be very special because it will be a birthday celebration for Ludwig van Beethoven. 2020 marks the 250th anniversary of Beethoven's birth, and all over the world, orchestras, chamber groups, soloists are celebrating such an important milestone. The Nashville Symphony, of course, will be looking to celebrate this great year, not only with this particular concert that is coming up, but throughout the whole year we'll be playing some of Beethoven's most important works. In this particular concert, which is dedicated entirely to Mr. Beethoven, we will open with the Leonore No. 3 Overture from the opera Fidelio, followed by the Beethoven's first piano concerto with the great Irish pianist Barry Douglas, who's making his return to Nashville. For this program, we will be including the Beethoven Third Symphony, also known as the Eroica. But this work is famous also for the story behind what inspired Beethoven to write this piece. Beethoven was a great admirer of the ideals of the French Revolution, of equality, fraternity, and liberty. And particularly, he was very much inspired by Napoleon. But then he was very disappointed when Napoleon himself declared himself an emperor and basically quit all of these great ideals. And Beethoven became so angry that he actually ripped the page. He started erasing the name of Napoleon from the title score in a way that was so angry that the page actually ripped. And you can actually see that in Vienna in one of the many Beethoven museums. Then Beethoven renamed the symphony Eroica to the memory of a great man. And in this work, Beethoven basically explores some of these ideals, as he calls it, Eroica, heroic symphony. It's a work that basically changed in many ways the classical style that was very well known from Mozart and Haydn. Here, Beethoven made some very, very startling changes that I'm sure were very shocking to the audiences when the first premiered, when the piece was first performed. And throughout the work, it seems like Beethoven is exploring new material and new compositional styles. Many historians believe that this particular symphony represents the break from what we call the classical period into the Romantic period. One thing that you're going to notice very early on is that this symphony has no introduction. Up to that point, most works started with some sort of a slow march that kind of get people comfortable into their seats before going into the actual melody. Here with the Third Symphony, all you get is two very fast chords, and all of a sudden you're in the middle of it all. That into itself was very revolutionary, and still in the 21st century, I think is something that catches many people off guard. The second movement becomes a funeral march, very much led by the string basses. Then we have the usual scherzo, not the minuet, in three slow waltz. In this case, a very, very fast moving waltz that happens in one, almost like you're tiptoeing around a campfire. And then without a break, you go into this last movement that becomes the theme and variations. And this is where the real genius of Beethoven comes into full presentation, because you have this very, very simple melody that he's going to literally put it in every imaginable option. You're going to see it upside down, you're going to hear it in major mode, you're going to hear it in minor mode, you're going to hear it fast, you're going to hear it slow. And at one particular point, he actually plays it backwards. And it actually took my first history class to finally realize what he was doing. So it also tells you that Beethoven was not only a great genius, but also a great composer with a wonderful sense of humor. And it is no surprise that his music and his legacy has survived 250 years now. So I think it is very appropriate that we're celebrating this very important year by playing an entire program with his music.